Yeah, my name's Ahmed Fall. I'm from Staten Island, New York, the big city. I'm a biology major, and I'm part of the basketball team in addition to Chief of Staff of Student Government Association. I'll pass that to you next, Bethany.
Hi, I'm Bethany Powles. I am a junior here at Bethel, and I'm from Garnett, Kansas. And I am a double major in English and history, and I'm also involved in the concert choir and the Collegian, the Bethel Collegian. And I'll popcorn that to Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam Croker. I'm a senior from Augusta, Kansas, and I'm an art education major, and I'm also involved in some of the music groups on campus as well.
Awesome, thank you all. We have a really great group of students. I'm very excited to hear them tonight. I will warn you, I do have a dog. You might hear him every once in a while. He's a puppy. We're working on it. So for our first question, we're gonna talk about, this is a very highly asked for question, according to the viewers. So this is, how do you balance schoolwork and other activities? So I think, Bethany, do you wanna start? I know that you are a pro at balancing all of your activities.
I try. So one of the things that I had to learn was pick the things that I wanted to be the most involved in. And sometimes that's a little hard to do your freshman year. But I've really had to learn how to say no to the things that I'm not as interested in and choose what I really want to pursue. And that has really helped me keep my plate sort of manageable. And I am now able to balance like a lot of classes as a double major, and I also have a few extracurriculars that I keep on the side that helps a lot. So learn to say no, try new things, but figure out kind of what you really enjoy.
Awesome. Ahmed, you want to talk on it?
I can definitely talk on it as well. So one thing which I noticed that helps me balance my school and work life is basically being able to manage my schedule. So if I wasn't able to stay organized, if I wasn't able to utilize Google Calendar and use my planner to organize everything that I had to do, then I would easily fall behind. I'm taking multiple credit courses. I'm a basketball team manager, chief of staff. If I didn't plan my days ahead, then I wouldn't be able to go throughout my day. So one thing which I would recommend to everyone is to use time management skills to continue to plan your days ahead.
Thanks, Ahmed. Evelyn, I'm wondering if you can speak a little bit. I know that you're doing some shadowing. So do you have any tips for people who maybe want to do some sort of shadowing internship kind of thing and how to balance that with being an athlete and also being heavily involved in your major?
Definitely. So something that is very important when looking for shadowing is to reach out. I know sometimes it can be kind of scary. For example, I shadowed an anesthesiologist and a general surgeon this summer. I did that all summer. And I literally emailed everyone pretty much in a hospital directory that I found. There were a lot of rejection emails. A lot of them didn't even bother to email me back, but eventually I got there. So I would say it's important to be persistent, and it's important to brand yourself in the most authentic way possible and just to give it a try. You'd be surprised with how many people are willing to help, especially when they know that you're from Bethel College.
Very true. Okay, we'll go ahead and go to our second question now, which is, why should I go to Bethel? This is very open-ended, so take it however you want. Josh, let's start with you, since you are from a little further away and maybe didn't know of Bethel quite as much as some of the Kansas kids.
Yeah, so I had no clue where or what Bethel was my junior and senior year of high school until I started getting recruited up here. And what really took me off guard is just how much people really cared. I didn't know anyone here. I was just walking around campus and people were like, hey, what's your name? What are you doing up here? How are you? And it seemed like the teachers really cared too. It was just a really close, I would say family or like just really close like group, and it just seems like everyone's here to help someone. So I really appreciated that.
Awesome. Adam, do you want to give a perspective from someone who lives a little closer?
Sure. So I came to Bethel. I kind of thought of a few other colleges, but Bethel really stood out because of the tightness that I found in the community. Here at Bethel, you call your teachers by their first name. It's pretty close relationship in terms of being able to just talk to your professors and they'll relate with you. Additionally, you get to know a lot of people in the community, which you don't really get from bigger schools, both inside the Bethel sphere of students, but also people in Newton too. You get to make some really good connections. Yeah, and I just really enjoyed that.
Thanks, Adam. So the next question we have is, how was your adjustment to Bethel from high school? Does anyone feel drawn to that topic? I don't know if anyone has any really good stories. If not, I'll probably go toward Ahmed since he came from the furthest away.
Yeah, I was gonna want to answer this anyway. So coming from Staten Island, New York was definitely a huge adjustment. Everything was way bigger out there, and the biggest adjustment to me was definitely being on my own and living by myself. I would say, like, yeah, I had a roommate, but it's also I'm over 1,000 miles away from my family. I'm over 1,000 miles away from the friends that I had previously. So when I came out here, I literally felt like I was starting a new life. But if it wasn't like a great community, I feel like I wouldn't be here for all 4 years because I'm a senior at the moment. Since the moment I came in, I was met with nothing but like friendly interactions with my teammates, with my teachers, and it motivated me to continue to grow and develop myself so I could not only better myself, but better my community. So yeah, the distance is hard, and I think you guys will all be able to grow by just like adjusting as time progresses, I would say.
Thanks, Ahmed. Bethany, you want to talk on it?
Yeah. So I am not from New York. I'm from Kansas. So I'm about 2.5 hours away. So adjusting for me, family-wise, I was still pretty close to home, and that was nice. I had that support. But freshman year can be a little rough, like finding new people to hang out with and things like that. And for those of you who are more introverted, can definitely be a struggle, right? And so that was a little rough at first, but we have this wonderful class that I'm gonna like plug for a sec, called First Year Seminar. And it's in that class, I think, that I realized just how much, the community that Josh was just talking about, that's where I really felt that. And I bonded with two of actually my closest friends I live with right now, and they're just outside the room. And that for me was one of the best experiences. And it was kind of what helped smooth the adjustment from high school, kind of leaving all of my friends there, and moving into college, and then also like maintaining those friends again for the next like 2, 3, 4 years, right? Also take care of yourself physically, because you could potentially be sick that first year because you're exposed to a new environment. I know that's not something we like to talk about right now, but take care of yourself, get sleep. You will adjust a lot better if you do that.
Very true. So let's see. Our next question is, what drew you to your major? So let's start with Adam.
So I'm once again an art education major, and both my parents are teachers, so I kind of grew up in the education environment, and I really love learning and everything to do with that. And I've always drawn and painted and stuff, so it was just kind of my natural progression. But here at Bethel, also we have some great professors in both the art and the education department. My advisors are primarily David Long, who's the 3D artist here, art teacher here on campus, and my advisor in the education field is Alan Jantz. And both of them have been really helpful in guiding me along my journey here at Bethel, and to helping me set up and learn and develop as a teacher. And so yeah, both of those professors have been very helpful in progressing my education.
Thanks, Adam. Josh, since social work is a pretty common major here at Bethel, do you want to talk about what drew you to it?
Yeah, so I've always wanted to help people ever since I was like a really young kid. And coming here, Ada, she's not here anymore, but Ada and Jen talked to me about what social work was, and like how I could help people like through that major. And it really like stuck with me, and I enjoyed it a lot. And I mean, I still do. Like Jen, she's still here. She's an amazing teacher. She guides me through a lot. And I got last spring, I was in an internship that was really interesting. And I mean, they're going to put you where like you want to go, and I don't know, it just fits perfectly with me, I think.
Great, thanks, Josh. So the next question, which is something that I was very concerned about when I went to college, was how do you find the time in your schedule to study? Evelyn, I think you might be the best person to answer this one.
So it's really all about planning. Like Ahmed said, I live by my Google Calendar religiously. There's only so many hours in a day, and FOMO is very real in college. But you have to realize that there will always be time to bond with your friends. There will be other opportunities to do cool things. And it's just about scheduling and just making sure that you prioritize the things you want to do. Otherwise, you just get really overwhelmed. I personally find I like to study in 45-minute increments and then take about a 15-minute break in between. And every once in a while, if I have a lot of things that I need to get done, I'll alternate a subject within those 45 minutes. And I find that that's a really effective way to maximize your time. I think that's very common among a lot of the college students here. It's called the Pomodoro technique. So I find that really helpful.
Great, I agree. I also did the 45-minute, 15-minute thing when I was studying for the MCAT. So we've got a few more questions from our cue board, and then we'll do some live. So let's see, the next one is a little fun. What do you do when you're not in class? This can be extracurriculars, it can be sports, it can be watching Netflix. There's no wrong answers. So let's see, Bethany, you want to take it?
So this year, I am taking a class, a ceramics class, which has literally nothing to do with my major at all. I just looked at it and thought, oh, this would be fun to take, which is another perk of Bethel. And so when I'm not in class, one way that, because I'm in class a lot, so one way that I decompress is I head over to the art studio, sometimes with friends, sometimes with people that I'm in the class with, and we just throw for like an hour, 2 hours. And it's just very therapeutic. So I like to find hands-on things to do. Go for a walk with friends, hang out in the lounge, play board games with my mod mates, things like that, or go to the art studio. It's very nice.
Great, thanks, Bethany. Ahmed, what do you do in your free time?
Okay, so on my free time, if I'm not studying or working, I'm usually playing Xbox. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I hope no one plays PlayStation, even though I know a couple people watching this probably do. That's usually
Awesome, great and honest answer. Let's see. The next one is a really good question for whoever submitted this. So this one is, do you think the cost is fair for what you're getting? So let's start with Adam.
Yeah, I would say that the cost is worth the education that I'm getting. Here at Bethel, it's a liberal arts college, so you're able to, you're not just taking classes within your major, because oftentimes, sometimes you go out after college and you end up doing something, completely different than your major. That sometimes happens. And that's okay. And here at Bethel, I've been able to take classes outside my major. I've taken a lot of history classes that I've found fun, some biblical studies and different, just other classes that aren't within my major. And so I feel that has provided me a good, just overall knowledge of classes. And so I feel like, if I was just to go to college and if I just did my, art and education classes, I would kind of feel like I, missed something in those 4 years of just going to school for just those two particular things. So.
It's a really good answer. Let's see, Josh, you have anything to add?
So, I mean, I agree with everything that Adam just said, but I don't know, like, education-wise and everything, it just seems like around here, like, people who know about Bethel or, like, just kind of just in the general area, if you talk about, like, you're a Bethel student, they just, they already know you. Like, it just seems like a degree from Bethel goes a long ways, and just from even past alumni and stuff, like, it just seems like they really brag about Bethel, and, like, once you get that degree, like, you can go anywhere you want, it seems like. And just outside of like the school aspect, I've met my best friends here. Like in high school, I didn't think that would happen. Like everyone says that does, but I mean, like I didn't believe them. But now, like I've met my bestest friends here. Like I love them to death, and it's just a great experience here. I think it's definitely worth it.
Great, thanks, Josh. Let's see. So we've got two more. First one is, what's something you would recommend I do in high school to prepare for college? Let's see. Anyone have any thoughts on this? Bethany, you look like you're thinking.
One thing that I wish I had done in high school, take classes, and this is a little hard if you're figuring out your high school schedule, but take classes or get involved in activities that you think you might be interested in, because then you kind of have a better idea of stuff you might enjoy when you start college. For example, English history, I didn't do much before high school to prepare for that, and I wish I had. There are a few classes in high school that I wish I had taken. So if you think you might be interested in something, sometimes finding those high school classes is a good way to kind of help figure that out a little bit.
Yeah, good advice, Beth. So one more, unless anyone has pressing answers to that other question. Go ahead and move to the last one, which is super fun. What's your favorite thing about Bethel? So, Evelyn, you want to give it a go?
There's actually a lot to choose from. I would say one of my favorite things is game day. Just being a dancer, football and basketball season, it's so high energy and everyone comes together and you just get to be part of like the Bethel culture. Just being on the stage during halftime or just seeing everyone cheering, and you just feel like a community because you come together to support your team, and it's such a fun experience. It's hard to describe, I feel like, but that's definitely one of my favorite parts of the Bethel experience.
Thanks, Evelyn. So there's a second part to that question, and it's, were you a student out of state going to Bethel? So Ahmed, you want to talk about, as a student from out of state, what your favorite part of Bethel is?
As a student out of state, my favorite part of Bethel was honestly the people that I met here. I remember the first day I came here, I tried to walk down the block, plot twist. It's not like a 2-minute walk, it was like a 15-minute walk to the closest store. But because of the connections I made here, like people always wanted to take me places, like my friends are always there for me when I need them. If it wasn't for those connections, I wouldn't consider Bethel College the home that I do now.
Great, thanks, Ahmed. So let's go ahead and answer some of the live questions we've gotten. This first one is maybe a little more geared toward me as an admissions counselor, but I think a few of you might have some good answers to it as well. So what are the qualifications to be able to get any scholarships? Anyone like that's on a sports or music scholarship want to talk a little bit about what you did to get that?
So I think it would be good for me to do this one. So a couple things which I could recommend for sure is one, academics. Like your grades, before I talk about sports, your grades is definitely like, by having good grades, you're investing in yourself because you could gain more money towards an academic scholarship. So what I would recommend to do in high school is to build good habits, studying, working hard, because it transitions to college and saves you money in the long run. And also, in addition to athletic scholarships as well, what I did when I was a high school athlete was I created highlight films of myself. I was networking my games, basically sending them out to college coaches, and that's what allowed for me to get offers, because coaches would then come to my games, watch me play. They would notice I was a good player. You know, I played basketball, I was a bucket, and then they would give me money. So definitely just investing in yourself is what I primarily recommend.
Great, thanks, Ahmed. Let's see what we've got. I'm sorry, my dog is really concerned that I'm not playing with him right now. So this person says that they're attending on behalf of their niece, who is brand new to Kansas, so would be a transfer student and is interested in a dual major in graphic design and accounting. Anybody familiar with maybe the business area or Adam graphic design art-wise? And this is a reminder that we're going to finish up here in about 6 minutes. So we're going to try to get to everyone's questions, but we may not. We'll just answer in the order we received. So Adam, got anything to say about graphic design? I believe Adam's frozen. So yeah, so I don't think anyone here knows much about those. If you want to send us an email later, I'll drop my email in the chat, and then you can email us, and we'll find you some more information. So, oh my goodness, my dog it's giving me trouble. Okay, let's see. Our next question. So this is a really good question. One, why did you choose Bethel, and what do you think are the weakest aspects of the college? If you had to choose one thing that you don't like, what would it be? Josh, you got anything?
I mean, I don't really see like a whole lot of negative sides, but just like, I mean, I guess like maybe the location, like there is a decent amount here in Newton, but then again, it's just kind of like it all closes up at like 10:30 or so. But that's mainly because of the virus right now. I mean, overall, it's like a decent location, but in Wichita's 30 minutes away. But that's kind of the only big like issue or anything that I really see.
And why did you choose Bethel, Josh?
I chose Bethel because, kind of like I said a little while ago, it's almost like a family. Like the teachers want you to pass. Like they're going to try, like they're going to help you no matter what. They know you by like your first name, like you know them by their first names, and just like also again like the students that I've met here, like I've met my best friends here that I'll probably know for the rest of my life. Like it's just like a lot of amazing things happen in Bethel, and I mean, I don't know. I'd say just stay here. Like it's a great area.
Thanks, Josh. That's awesome. So the next question is, what are the freshman dorms like? Because they weren't able to see them on their tour. Beth, I think you had a freshman dorm experience. You want to talk just briefly?
I did. The room sizes differ. That was something I didn't know when I first arrived on campus. And also the bathrooms are communal. So everyone in a single hall all has the same bathroom. 2 people per room. Some of the rooms are smaller and some of the rooms are larger, which is just how it goes. I don't know how specific I'm supposed to get. Furniture-wise, you have like your desk, your dresser and closet and whatnot. And culture-wise, you have 3 floors, 2 floors for boys, 1 floor for girls. And usually, normally, all the floors can kind of intermingle during certain hours and can kind of gather in the Howery Hub, which is like this circle area where people meet to study and play games and things like that. So it's still very communal and everything. And you have your CAs posted there. So other than that, is that specific enough, do you think?
Yeah, that was good. We have videos now that we can send out if they want to know more. So we've got 3 minutes left. Let's see how many questions we can get through. Let's see. How do you balance athletics and academics? I think we've talked a little bit about that, but does anyone have anything to add for our athletes? Okay. Personally, I was an athlete.
Oh.
Yeah, I think the teachers are good about balancing it. Yeah, Ahmed, you got something?
Evelyn, do you want to go? Or I'll go. Okay, okay, I got it. All right, so basically, the way I balance it, as I said, is definitely time management. Practices, like I'm a basketball player, 2-hour practices a day. By knowing when practice times are, I could plan around it and plan my schedule because you're going to have to study for your classes. In my high school, I didn't have to study much. I considered high school to be a breeze. And then when I came to college, I was hit with reality and actually realized I had to study. So I organized. It took me a little bit of time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. My first semester was rough, but second semester, I built off my weaknesses. I started organizing my schedule more, and I started just knowing when I had to do what, so that I was able to properly study. In addition to being the best athlete that I could be and go to the gym and get those extra hours in, if you know what I mean.
Great, thanks, Ahmed. So we've got one more question right now. We'll email anyone we didn't get to. This one's for Josh. Can you describe your daily schedule as a football player?
So football takes a lot of my time. We only get one real day off, and that's on Monday. So, I mean, the only thing that really when football starts is Tuesday, Thursdays we'll have lifts between 10 to 12, depends on what group you are. And also we'll have film at 3, and then we'll go to practice at 4, and that's usually 4 to 6 typically. And I mean, that's how it is on the weekdays besides Monday. And then on Saturday, depends on what time the game is. You'll basically your whole day's football, and then Sunday we'll just go over film. But kind of in the mornings and everything, you'll have your classes, and of course football and your classes will work together, and just you won't be in trouble if you have a class that conflicts with a certain football event. The coaches understand class is number one. So I mean, it's pretty nice.
Great, thank you, Josh. So we reached 8 o'clock, so we promised you a 30-minute meeting. Here we are. If you have any questions that you didn't get to ask or that we didn't respond to, feel free to email us at admissions@bethelks.edu. We'll make sure we get you some good answers. Thank you so much to our great student panelists. It was wonderful hearing from you. And thank you for everyone who joined. Let us know if you have any questions, and I hope to see you all on campus at some point in the future. Bye, everyone.